Hey, Vine Church. Welcome back to this midweek Pick Me Up. So glad you could join us. Let's jump right in. We're in chapter 5 of the book of Galatians, more than halfway through, and verse 1 of chapter 5 says this: "It is for freedom that Christ set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." You know what a yoke is? A yoke is an agricultural device used to link oxen together so that they would plow a field in step. Paul's literally saying, do not let your lives be linked to a system of slavery. And what's that system? Well, the Judaizers had infiltrated the church in Jerusalem, and they were teaching basically this: grace is a good starting point, but we're going to need some obedience and maybe a minor surgery if you're going to be in good standing with God. Here's the problem. Grace isn't a starting point. It's the only point. That's the gospel. You see, it begins and ends with grace. It is grace that even covers our future sins. You see, Paul goes to great lengths, especially in places like Romans chapter 7, to tell the believer that there will still be sin in our lives. We're not going to live perfect lives pretending that we will. It just makes us hypocrites and plain out spiritual jerks. We're in cover-up mode constantly, or we're convincing ourselves that the things that we do that are wrong are not that big a deal. You see, Christ's death, burial, and resurrection is applied to all our sins, past, present, and future. And that is a motivation that's completely different than this old religious system. You see, the religious system was built on moral performance, leads to good standing. But the gospel is good news that Christ's sacrifice puts us in good standing and even covers our future sins. So now you can live an attitude of worship and thanksgiving in response to God's grace. We're not motivated by fear or hypocrisy or guilt or shame any longer. There's no cover-up mode here. We can be open about our shortcomings and brokenness, that we can work together to encourage each other to continue in patterns of love and kindness and peace and joy in a broken world. That's the gospel. And as we take these next few steps together into what the life of Christ looks like because of the Spirit, I pray that you'll see this through with me and that you'll think how your life can become more reflective of God's presence. I'll see you Sunday. Love you. Mean it.